The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh man, WrestleMania 39 is in the books.
It is.
April 1st and 2nd here in Los Angeles. Man, what an event. We attended both nights. They were happy to have us. They're like, oh man, Big Talk's going to be here.
Yeah, we had a special entrance.
It was great. I don't know if you guys saw us, but we were all over it on the pay-per-view. Man, WrestleMania 39, man, it was great. I had a great time. Great.
Yeah, total fun weekend, man. Total fun.
Let's start out with some business. Let's see if I can remember this stuff, you know.
All right.
We took a little break. We, just had to take some vacation. We got sick and tired of looking at each other's ugly mugs. We had to take a couple weeks off. But we're back. Like Don would say, we're back for the attack.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can do this. Big Talk. Wait, hold on a second. BigTalkCG@gmail.com. At BigTalkCG.podcast on TikTok and Instagram. At Big Talk CG on Twitter. We're also on Facebook. Just look up Big Talk with podcast with Chris and Gregg. You go visit our link tree, let you know everywhere you can see us. And man, the podcast is on fire still, dude. We're everywhere, dude. We are, and it's just exciting, dude. I had to make this announcement. We hit 6,500 downloads, so that's big for us.
Yeah,
for two jabronis like us
from North Hollywood,
from North Hollywood, California, that just want to sit here and just have a conversation. We are so glad that people want to listen to our conversation.
We're humble and grateful, man. We definitely are.
We just want people to join in.
Correct.
Join in. Get on any of our social media. Comment. Tell us how much you hate us, how much you love us, how handsome Gregg is.
Yeah, good stuff like that.
Tell them how you want to give them a reach around or something like that. I don't know.
They always want to talk about the Rambo. Where's Rambo?
Rambo. I don't know where is Rambo. Rambo's outside, guarding from the outside.
There
He's
you go.
Guarding the entrance to the state-of-the-art Big Talk studio. Let's get right to it. Let's talk about WrestleMania 39.
All right.
April 1st and 2nd, 2023. SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. The gem of Southern California, Inglewood, California.
It's starting to be that way, dude. They're building up Inglewood very much, dude.
They're gentrifying it pretty. They're putting the accelerator down on that, dude.
Yeah.
Swear to God, I saw some white people walking their dogs there. So
right?
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
They've turned a corner.
I saw people walking a cat, too. That tripped me out.
What?
Yeah, I know. Welcome to Inglewood.
Welcome to Inglewood, people walking cats. Yeah, man, it did start on April 1st, but Gregg, you actually were participating in some extracurriculars in the week leading up to WrestleMania. Why don't you let us know, tell us all about all these wrestling things that you were doing in the week leading up to WrestleMania.
All right, let's see. The Thursday, I went to the Superstore at the convention center. I walked around, saw that, man. There was a ton of people. There was exclusive shirts, exclusive merchandise. It was great, man. They were just blasting entrance music. You know what was funny? They were blasting old tune entrances other than the newer guys. Mm-hmm. So on the opening, we heard Cody Rhodes. They didn't play Cody. They didn't play Roman. They didn't play the Usos. They didn't play Sammy and Kevin Owens. None of those songs were played. It was like old songs. So we heard Macho, Bret Hart. We heard Undertaker. There was just old songs. Mm-hmm. They were just kept on blasting. But they did have a lot of memorabilia. They had a lot of different stuff on there, man. It was good and it was packed. Each thing was individual. And there was a damn lot of people. And the funny thing was, the Superstore was opening at 12 or opening at 9 and closing at midnight. Mm-hmm. All 4 days that they had available. But they said there was a ton of people walking in and out, man. And of course, Gregg from Big Talk, man, I had a special VIP entrance and I kept on flashing everybody. I thought I was like a Wayne's World or something, dude. I was flashing to the left, flashing to the right, VIP. And you're checking out. Oh, they're over here, Gregg. Go this way. Next thing you know, I had one people in front of me, and everybody else there was like.
Did
a long
you
line.
get your own private bathroom though?
No, that one didn't.
You had to share it with the heathens.
Yeah, I had to share that with the heathens, man. That was the only good thing. But that was funny. Then me and my friends were hanging out, and we went to the Yard House across the street. So we said, let's get. We're at happy hour, right? We're having some appetizers. We're sharing a couple of beers and stuff like that.
Some Steve Weisers.
Some Steve Weisers. And we were sitting down, and next thing you know, we see Braun Strowman walking the streets of L.A.
Really? He sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah. And then there was another young girl from NXT, and she was in there having lunch. And
You didn't go run out to Braun?
No, because I was in the middle of eating my pizzas and eating my chicken
But
wings.
did you
and
reach
stuff.
for him like, Braun? Like,
No.
so you could feel it?
I think it was like, hey, that's Braun Strowman. Where? Over there. And we're like, oh. And then we saw him come back too. But,
I bet he's a part of the nation.
I bet you he is.
I bet you he's
I
in
bet
the
you is. All right.
And who else did you see? Young lady from where?
NXT. Zoe Starks was her
Okay.
name. And then I had a second. I was walking by her real fast, and I said, "Good luck on And she was one of the girls that were participating for the NXT Women's title on Saturday. And I said, "Good luck on Saturday." And she's, "Oh, thanks, guys." So it was real.
Was
quick
she
and
getting a
stuff.
bunch of commotion? Were you guys probably one of the only people that recognized her?
We were the only ones that recognized her. I mean, we didn't see her when she was. We were different from our table because we were walking to the restroom. But on the way out, I was like, "Oh, that was her," and I said something and stuff like that. And then later on that night, we went to San Gabriel, California, at the Sheraton, and there was a Jake the Snake flirting with Venom event. So
This
there
was Thursday night.
This was Thursday night.
You
Yeah,
had a
it's
full
still
Thursday.
I had a full Thursday. So we got to make Jake the Snake, and it was really cool. He was sitting down and goes, "Hey guys, come on over here." And he goes, "You want a picture? You want to sign? You want me to sign something for you?" So we thought we had to pay for him to meet him and stuff, but he was like, "No, everybody take a group picture." One of my friends took his camera out, and then we all took a picture with him.
Wait, hold on. Someone was carrying a camera?
Our phones.
Oh,
sorry,
okay. I thought you were.
Yeah, no, I think we should.
It was a disposable film camera. He had to wind it. Click, click, click,
Hold on.
No flash.
Yeah.
Click.
Yeah. So he told us to sign a picture. He signed a picture for us. He didn't personalize it, but he just signed it.
Did you get a
like Jake
picture?
in that one.
This is the first time I'm hearing this version of. You've been holding out on me. You told me you went, but
I was waiting for the episode to come so I can talk it up.
So, how did he look physically? How did he look?
He looked tired and old. He looked tired.
But did he look like I mean, I understand his tired age, but we all know that what he went through, his journey post wrestling, with DDP and in the demons he's battled.
Correct.
Considering all that, how did he look?
Considering all of that, he looked okay.
Good.
He looked.
He's someone that's battled a lot of demons and stuff, so it's good to see him still alive. Quite frankly,
he wasn't slurring. He did. You could definitely hear his voice, his dark, scratchy voice.
like that.
Yeah. And then his wife was with him too, and they said hello and they shook our hands and nice to meet you. And of course, I didn't usually do the usual Gregg. Oh my God, blah 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 blah. I just said, "Hey, longtime wrestling fan, thank you for all the stuff you did." I go, "I really appreciate it." Oh, thanks a lot, guys. Blah,
Did he have Damien?
No, but during the match, it was on the main event, which had Alberto Del Rio. He was one of the
really?
guys. Yeah.
Is he? What
And
is he?
looked good.
El Patron or whatever?
No, he went under
Del
Alberto
Rio?
Del Rio.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He was fighting some other guy, and at one point, Jake came out and it looked like he had a bag on him, and then he was like, going to release him because the guy was trying to exit the ring,
Mm-hmm.
and he did, and it was like a stuffed animal type of snake, but he did have it, his usual around his shoulder, and put it on the ground, but. We're like, is there a snake? Is there a snake?
Lame.
Yeah.
You should have had the snake.
And there was, you know what? To be honest, Chris, there was about 50 to 60 people there. It wasn't very packed, but it was a nice small event. And Chris Masters there, remember? He was another one of the wrestlers there too.
Now,
and he looked pretty good itself.
Question: the venue, where was it held at?
The Sheraton.
Like one of their ballrooms there, or
Yeah,
something like
one
that.
of their ballrooms. So there was a lot of room.
I was gonna say, did it look empty, or was it?
There, you can definitely tell that they did not sell to what they thought. What the seats were set up.
Okay.
The seats were set up, 50 each
So was it was like 25-30% capacity probably then?
Yeah, maybe 25. We'll say that.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
It
But there was a lot of wrestling going on that whole week, dude. I mean,
that Thursday was a lot of wrestling going on. There was even events going on in the afternoon that we saw. Rikishi was having an event himself where he was opening up his studio where he teaches his class, the wrestling class, his gym, and he had like a wall of fame and he had other things that he was selling, and that was a thought of our head. Maybe we should go over there, but no, we can't. We're hanging out. And then there was a lot of wrestling events that happened that Thursday. So that Thursday was very, very packed and stuff like that. And that was fun, man. So that kind of
let me interrupt
Thursday.
you.
Yeah, go ahead.
You went. So what? What did you buy at the convention center? What kind of memorabilia did you get? Did you get any belts? Did you get any Did you get any John Cena wristbands?
No, I did buy my first John Cena T-shirt.
What one was it?
It was the 20-year anniversary of John Cena.
Nice.
I did. I broke down. I told myself, if I see it, I'll buy it. I got the...
Is that the one with like the different versions of him or something like that? Yeah.
Yes. It's kind of like the video game version, like the 8-bit type of thing. I got that one. I got the Sami Zayn, Wrestle Zayn, and then KO Mania on the back. That was what I wanted, and I saw I just advertised it a day or two before, and I was like, okay, if they have it there, I'm gonna buy it. What else did I get? I got a shirt that I was wearing the night. It was Rey Mysterio, kind of like a collared shirt. I told myself, if they have my size, I'll get it, and of course they had my size.
Of course they did. It was probably the only one, like the one shirt you're like, oh, they got it. Yes,
I probably was. And then what else did I got this shirt. I told you I was going to get you. Yeah. So what Wrestlemania did was since it was in LA, they had different landmarks of Los Angeles, and they added like a WWE, logo to it. One was Cantor's. They had Cantor's.
That's our favorite Jewish deli in Hollywood. Love it.
They had one for Pink's Hot Dogs, which was kind of funny. They had one for Randy's Donuts. They had Bob's Big Boy. And I think there was one other one. But I thought that was funny too, so I got one of those shirts. And then I got my sweat jacket.
Nice. Okay, so that wraps up your Thursday.
That wrapped up Thursday, man.
Okay, and Friday. Tell me about Friday.
Friday was awesome, and I was waiting very long. I attended the Ring of Honor pay-per-view they had in USC. It was at the Pavilion Center. My younger brother Matt went. And we had a blast, man. There was so much energy, so much excitement. I've been waiting for Ring of Honor to come to the West Coast for a very long time. And when they did, I don't know how many years ago they did. I just didn't get an opportunity to do it, but this time I did. Man, I thought it was great. There was a lot of fun. Like I said, good amount. I had a good seat and a lot of energy, a lot of... The crowd was crazy and wild, just what you expect from the Ring of Honor. And some of those matches were very classy, very everything. Some of these guys shook hands, which, it shows respect for each other. But it was fun. It was fun. It was good. And it lasted good 3.5, almost 4 hours and stuff like that.
Did you get any meet and greets? Any of them selling T-shirts on the side or the merch booth or anything like that?
They had a merch, but most of the merch was... which I got, which was the Ring of Honor just logo, the plain Ring of Honor. And then they had a lot of tribute to Jay Briscoe, who passed away. So they had 3 or 4 different versions of him and his shirts and stuff like that. So I didn't really like those shirts, so I kind of passed up on it. But it was cool for what I got, man. It was great.
Love it.
But Ring of Honor was excellent, cool. And I saw one of our managers from Gorilla Mall there, too. So I said hi to her. She was like laughing at me. Oh my God, we run into her so much. And then, then I went home and got ready for WrestleMania Saturday, man. And that's what it was. And then, here we go.
I unfortunately could not join Gregg. I was on the Big Talk World Tour. I couldn't make it to any of those events. I was gone that whole week. But I did make it back just in time. Hours before WrestleMania started, before the opening bell. And what a glorious event this was. I just to make a long story short, I flew in, got here at like just about noon. Gregg came and picked me up like an hour and a half later. Drove from, the west side to Inglewood to the no-tel hotel that he was staying at.
Yeah.
And, man, just hung out for a little bit and had a little food and just walked over to SoFi. I mean, that's, you don't have to worry about, parking. I was very lucky to have Gregg come pick me up, That's what friends are for. And we went and hung out for a little while, went and walked down to SoFi. The energy, you could just feel, okay, so we were walking to the event. I'm going to stop here at Jack in the Box. I'm going to get something to eat. Everybody in there eating, wrestling shirt.
Right.
Everybody outside walking, wrestling shirt. Everybody that was there, and we're talking maybe half mile.
Yeah, about half
mile, third of a mile, right in that area from SoFi. So these are all people that were staying there, people that were taking buses, walking in, because they did have all the parking available. Excuse me. So there, I mean, what was it? 80,497 that first night.
Yeah.
So there were it was just it was overtaking Inglewood. The amount of people that were there was great, and the energy just right from the get-go, just walking there, you could tell people were pumped. They were ready to go.
They were. That energy on Saturday night was so good. Mm-hmm. And anticipating a great show, anticipating something fun or exciting to happen and stuff like that. But yeah, it was good.
So let's just go over some quick factoids.
Okay.
Before we get into the match, we're going to go through the card match by match, beginning day 1 to the end of day 1, beginning of day 2 to the end. We'll give our take on it, what we liked, what we didn't like. We're not going to do a move by move. We're not going to do any reenactments or anything like that. Maybe we will. I don't know. So this was actually the 6th. 39 was the 6th WrestleMania to be held in like the greater Los Angeles area. Number 2, WrestleMania 2, WrestleMania 7, WrestleMania 12, WrestleMania 2000, WrestleMania 21, and then 39. Also, it was the 7th in California. 31 was in the Bay Area.
Okay.
Which we went to.
Yeah.
So we've been to the last 2, 31 and 39. Man, they do real good out here. I believe I was reading that it topped the most that they brought in at the gate. It was like 21.6 million just in ticket sales. I mean, it's the highest that they've grossed in ticket sales. Of course, you go in 2 days, right?
Yeah.
Since 2000. So of course you're going to double it up. This was also the first, the second WrestleMania to have a tag team match as a headlining match.
Oh, okay.
But it was the first one that was for a title. The first one was from WrestleMania 1 with Hogan and Mr. T.
And Mr. T.
Against who was that? Piper and Orton.
Orndorff?
I think it was it Orton?
I thought it was Orndorff.
Might have been Orndorff. Paul Orndorff. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah. So yeah, dude, a lot of firsts. There always is at every WrestleMania. We had title matches up and down, women's, men's. I thought, looking at the card, I was kind of looking at some of these matches side-eyed. Some of them I was really excited, looking forward to. But here we can just go through them one at a time. The night 1, there was 8 matches. Night 2, there were 7. So let's go ahead and just get into this. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, man. Well, I'm ready to roll.
Well, we can talk about one thing I want to talk about quick is, yes, we did have our own VIP entrance to get in to SoFi. You go in that place. It's really awesome because it's not like old school where you walk into the floor and then you have to go up.
Yeah.
It's into the ground halfway. So wherever you walk in, you're like at the middle. So you either have to go a little bit up or a little bit down, which is kind of nice. You don't have to be like, oh my God, I got to go all the way to the top, or just go halfway or the top. They have plenty of bathrooms, plenty of concessions. I didn't feel like they had enough merch. The lines of the merch were huge, and I was not impressed by the merch at this WrestleMania at all. We went and looked at it this night too. I went and Greg, let's go look. Let's go look at the merch, and we went and looked. I was like, none of this is tooting my horn.
Yeah.
So I passed on all merch for the whole WrestleMania weekend. All right, let's talk about the matches themselves. Night 1, match 1. Austin Theory, the champ, U.S. champ, against John Cena. What do you think of this match?
Good. It started off, and there was anticipation from that. Wanted to see Cena, and he was back in wrestling, which was good. And then, Austin Theory, who I always thought was a type of John Cena clone back in the day when he was in Independence. But it was good. They wrestled. They had a good time. Both of them came out to good entrances. Came out good. Even Cena. I mean, Cena had a lot of. He had the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Yeah, Make-A-Wish. Yeah.
So it's touching because you see these kids, and John Cena out there, and they're all waving, and of course the ramp is longer than long. I don't know how long,
dude. The ramp,
fourth of a mile or something, dude. There's a big long ramp. Anyways, it went on there, was good, fun. Like I said, there was a lot of good stuff for the match. It was fun. For me, Austin Theory, I wasn't surprised that he won. I kind of wanted Cena, and that's what it was.
Yeah, I agree with you on everything you just said. He does remind me of a Cena, a younger Cena. He's a little bit sharper though on his in-ring ability, but he kind of almost has some of those same mannerisms in the ring. They kind of almost have that same kind of flow to them as Cena had. I wasn't surprised that Austin Theory won. I would have been surprised if Cena would have won. Cena and his thinning hair. You could see we could see his bald spot from the from where we were sitting. So from our VIP Big Talk box seats, you could see it from there, man. John Cena, dude, he's great. He's been great for wrestling. That match ended by pinfall, 11 minutes, 20 seconds. It was good. This next match I was really looking forward to, and it did not disappoint. It was the men's WrestleMania Showcase Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. That was a mouthful. It pitted the Street Profits against Braun Strowman and Ricochet, the Alpha Academy, and the Viking Raiders. I thought this match was great. Obviously, is exactly what it says. It was a showcase. They all got to show their tag team abilities together. They got to show some individual abilities. You got to see some things you've never seen before. The Viking Raiders really impressed me with their... I knew they had the agility for big guys, but they looked really good.
Okay, good.
No one came out of this match weak. Everybody came out looking great.
There you go.
The Street Profits did win. I was kind of unsure who was going to win.
You know what I liked about this too, Chris, was all their entrances were not like you get the long entrance to come in. This is WrestleMania, so we're going to take our time and you can walk down. Yeah. No, these guys, they came out, bam, bam, bam. Okay, now they're walking. They're halfway or almost there. Then the next one started.
Yep.
Blah, 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 blah. I think one of my favorite parts of the match were they had like all the big guys kind of like in the ring for a second. Strowman, the guy from Alpha Academy, the guy from Viking Raiders, and one of the guys, I think his name is Dawkins, was in the ring, and they were all kind of like pushing each other, and then you see all the other guys, which is, I don't want to say the high flyers, but the other guys came in. So it was fun. I thought that was the funnest part of that match. With the Street Profits winning, that was kind of a surprise for me. I didn't think so. But hey, you're right. It was fun. They had a good showcase. And how long was the match? Another 10 minutes, or was
8
it
8 minutes and 30 seconds?
Yeah, see, so it wasn't like the longest match at all.
I liked I saw some cool things that were cool. The Chad Gable with his his remember he did that little roll through German suplex on Strowman. That was pretty cool.
That was good.
I thought that the coup de grace high spot when they did that like super death plex, and then Ricochet did the splash across. I can't remember which guy was at the top. That was okay. It looked just so constructed though. Right. That it was kind of like, come on, guys, you're taking a minute and a half to just pull off this move. But it was spectacular in its end. I'm a huge Ricochet fan. I wish that he would get pushed in some sort of way or another.
You've never said that before. I didn't know about them. I like Ricochet.
I love watching him wrestle.
Okay.
He's an entertaining guy. I just hope he doesn't turn into the next Dolph Ziggler where, I don't think he's reached that that point where he can be used like Dolph to push other wrestlers. Okay. I don't think beating him really pushes you anywhere, but I would really like to see him stack up some singles wins.
All right.
Maybe get a title opportunity in the future. Because the way he wrestles, I don't know how long he's going to be able to wrestle like he does.
Right.
It's amazing. You had told me before we watched the match that you were thinking the Viking Raiders were going to be the winner. I remember, didn't you say that to me?
And, I said that.
Yeah, they didn't. Really didn't know who was going to win. But I thought your take was just as good as anybody else's. You would like to see them kind of get a run at a title or something.
Well, they always impressed me in NXT. They impressed me really in Ring of Honor. And then I kind of followed them to NXT. And then when they came out to WWE, I didn't think they looked as aggressive as they should have. I think Vince kind of polished them a little bit, but now that they're more of the aggressor, more of the darker side, they look good and they know how to handle people. They're, like I said, two big guys that can do flips and punch in the face. You know,
I love the fact that they got the gimmick in a time where there's really no gimmicks. They pull it off flawlessly.
Yes.
It's great. I love it.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and go to the next one. This match was everything that I thought it would be. Seth freaking Rollins and Logan Paul. I thought this was one of the matches of the night. I knew it was, well, I didn't know, but I was pretty sure this was going to be one of the highlights of the night.
Oh, yeah.
And it delivered on every level. It was great. Great high spots. Lots of near falls. Logan Paul, every time he wrestles, I hate to say it, but man, he impresses me every time. He's just getting better and better.
Exactly.
And it's a pleasant surprise. He's gone from YouTube jokester to, dude, he's living a dream life. Professional boxer, owning his own brands, professional wrestler. I mean, I got to give it to him. Good for him. But man, the thing about it is doesn't look like he's just jumping in for a payday and out. He's actually been doing this for a while now. It looks like I heard that he may even signed another contract to extend his time with WWE. So hopefully we get to see more of this guy.
On Monday or Tuesday, they did say that he signed a 4-year contract with them.
That's amazing. I love it.
He did really well.
Yes, he did.
He really impressed me after the first time he wrestled. So I think the first time he wrestled The Miz by himself, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I hate to see people that are not wrestlers come in and do so well, but I know he's very athletic and he learned moves, or whoever taught him really taught him very well.
Yeah.
And he was, felt very well.
This match was great. Lots of near falls, both men pulling off finishers. The turning point in the match is when Logan Paul went for the splash off the... So he came out with a guy dressed up and he owns that Prime sports drink. Well, I don't know what the guy's name, KSI or something. It's like his business partner helped own the business. I don't know. He ended up, Seth Rollins was on the announcer's table, and then Logan Paul goes to jump off the turnbuckle or off the post, and he pulls Seth Rollins pulls his business partner on top of the table. So he goes through him instead. Little back and forth, and then Seth Rollins.
I thought one of the turning points for me was when Seth got to do the stomp on Logan's hand.
Oh yeah, on the table.
And then they talked about where he had his hand reconstructed, or it's
got like a titanium screw.
Correct, something like that. And then he wasn't able to use the punch as good as he normally does. So if he used the punch, prior to this at 100%, he was now at 75% using it. I thought that was a high point. The other thing I wanted to mention is their entrances. Logan Paul did a tribute to Shawn Michaels and kind of came in on a scaffold.
It was so weak. It was
kind of came in, flying over.
He should have came from the 500 level into the ring. Instead, he was on the floor, got raised up, went in and lowered onto the ramp, and was like,
wow, that would have been... I wonder if they could have pulled that off. I'm sure they could have, huh?
They can do whatever they want. It's the WWE.
Yeah. And then Seth Rollins with his coming out and the music and singing and having the stadium rock his theme was just unbelievable. And I was glad we were there, Chris, because they the last week or two, they've been kind of going back to it over and over and over, and you hear it, man. You hear these people. They're screaming. They're singing. And they sang most of his song, or in between the match, the whole thing.
During the match, they were singing and everything. It was great.
It was really good. But that was one of the high points for me. That was a great match, and I knew that was going to be one of the show stealers for whatever night they put it on.
And in case I didn't say it, Seth Rollins did beat Logan Paul by pinfall. 16 minutes, 15 seconds. It was a good match. Good, nice, long match. All right, the next one, I really don't have much to say about it. It disappointed me. I knew it was going to be a disappointment. It was the 6-woman tag team match. Trish, Lita, and Becky Lynch against Damage Control. 14 minutes of 40 seconds. This was a P match. This was, go get another beer kind of a match for me. I was not, and it delivered or under-delivered or did exactly what I thought. It
was there for you to be high points.
I
enjoyed it, but I didn't love it, in that sense too. So
I didn't do it for me. Lita and Trish are getting a little long in the tooth. They're just there to be Lita and Trish, I guess, and draw that crowd in for that. I don't think anybody was going there for that match, but Trish, Lita, and Becky won that match, 14 minutes and 40 seconds. Like I said, it was exactly what I thought it would be.
Yeah, you know what? For the ladies on one side, which was Trish, Lita, and Becky, they're at a step higher than Damage Control. Now, don't get me wrong. I think that they just overtowered them in the knowledge of wrestling, the existence. It's kind of like old school versus new school, and old school won, basically.
Yeah, they did. Old school wins.
Right? Old school wins.
Let's go to the next match. This match, I'll probably say this about every match. I was really looking forward to this one. Rey Mysterio against Dominic Mysterio, singles match. Father-son, only the second father-son wrestling against each other. Shane and Vince was the first one. Man, this has such a great story coming up, crescendoing with this match. They really built it up well.
And
they didn't, I don't think he accepted the match until like a week before or maybe 2 weeks before, 10 days before, something like that.
I think it was a week before.
They pressed it right up. Well, they really juiced that whole storyline, which is the way they really should have done it, because after you accept the match, there's nothing more that Dominic needs to do to torment you. You've already accepted.
Yeah.
So the fact that he was tormenting Rey, his sister, and his mother the whole time, pushing it right to the last minute, was definitely the way to go to WrestleMania with that. I thought this match was great.
The whole thing with Judgment Day and Dominic and Rhea Ripley, Mama, Papi, and all this other stuff they're doing, it really worked very well. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, man. Dominic got a lot of heat on this, and you don't hate to love him, but you want to see him, and you kind of want to get his ass kicked, and you want him to shut up and all this other stuff, and that's what the crowd wanted, and that's what they gave, and it was very exciting and very fun. I love the entrances. Same thing. Rey Mysterio came out in like the Eddie convertible kind of car, and Snoop Dogg was kind of driving it and stuff. So that worked very well. That was fun. And then Dominic kind of came out by the LAPD or police, however you want to say it, in that kind of like a paddy wagon, and they had him handcuffed, so to say. Brought to the ring and say, he's a bad boy.
I like Dominic's entrance better than Rey's.
All right.
I thought it was way more effective.
Yeah.
It's like Rey came out to like 20 different songs. It was like one song he came out, and then they switched it to Eddie, and then they switched it to his theme. It was like, I don't even get him popping up through the stage. I know. And when he always runs across the stage and does this thing with his arm. It's usually fireworks go off. Yeah. No fireworks. I was like, what's going on here? This is kind of lame. A little disappointed in that.
Well, when he came out, remember, he came out through like the floor level.
But he climbed up to the stage.
Yeah.
And then walked the ramp.
There you go.
He should have had a little more for him. I know he's getting old. Obviously, we should also mention Rey Mysterio was inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. He's slowing down a little bit.
Yeah.
I actually did rewatch. I've rewatched the match maybe twice. I watched it again today. He's lost a step. Not so much. If you compare him to old Rey, he's still really good in the ring. I'm not a huge fan of his, but I appreciate talent and I respect him as a wrestler. But he definitely has lost a step if you compare him to the young Rey.
Yes.
But if you just say like, here's a wrestler, watch him, you're like, oh wow, that guy's really good. You're just gonna constantly compare him to his younger self. But man, he pulled off all the moves. The match was great. You got the interaction with his whole family. They interacted with the match. They're not afraid of getting water thrown in their face or slapping their son or anything like that. It was great. Storyline building up to the match, during the match, participation from the family, the finish. I thought it was all great. It was definitely one of the highlights of the night. Yeah. I thought it was great.
And then they even had Bad Bunny interfering.
That's right. He tried to hit his dad with the chain. Bad Bunny grabbed it. And then that's when Rey kind of turned the tables on him and finished the match.
Exactly.
Finished him with a frog splash. Yeah, not Eddie Guerrero style, but no one does it like that. But it was great. Yeah, great match.
Yeah, good stuff, man. I loved it. I thought it was
15 minutes right there.
Okay, good.
This next one was really, really good. Charlotte Flair, the champ, the SmackDown champ against Rhea Ripley for the title singles match. Man, 23 and a half minutes this match.
They tore it down, dude.
And normally, you guys already know my take, but I don't know what it is, but these two are, in my opinion, the elite of the women's division in WWE, maybe anywhere. They are technical, their speed, they got power.
Yeah.
They can come off the top. They do it all. Both of these girls.
Charlotte did not disappoint, man.
Nope.
I know she just came back, I would say 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And she won the title, and it was kind of like,
here we go again.
Here we go again. Type stuff like that. But when then Rhea Ripley won the Royal Rumble, and she was, I want to fight.
Who did Charlotte get the title from? Do you remember?
Was it Becky or was it?
I think putting it on Charlotte for Rhea Ripley, if that's your story, and if that's what you're looking in the future, to have Rhea Ripley win it means more than her winning it from anybody else they have. I think Charlotte's definitely, the queen?
Yeah.
The queen. And so I think beating her definitely was the best person Rhea Ripley could have beat to win that title. That was huge for Rhea Ripley. And what a great match. One of the best women's matches I don't want to say ever, but that I've seen in a long time, in recent memory.
It was.
You got to go back 20 years to when Trish and Lita were at their pinnacle to get anything that's even close, and it may not even match this match. This match had everything you wanted.
Exactly. There was a lot of good stuff on this, man. Like you said, I liked the match. I liked the build up. I liked everything they did about Charlotte and Rhea Ripley. They went back and forth. They still had that storyline from the Judgment Day with Rhea doing something with Dominic, and then they kind of also added shit to Charlotte and talking smack to her and said, I'm going to do it, and then they kind of led up to it. So it was fun, man. It was good. Like you said, exciting. A lot of energy, a lot of power. A lot of these women really did give it all, and it showed, and it was damn well worth it, man.
And all those things I bitch about women's wrestling, like they need to do this, they need to do that, so on and so forth. Everything that I bitch about did not happen in this match.
Correct.
They're bigger women. They're both pretty big size.
Pretty tall. Yes.
I think they fit the ring well, and I don't think the match wasn't like this. It was at a methodical pace. Sometimes there was some, we're wearing each other down. Those kinds of things were happening. Extended that match out to 23 and a half minutes, but it was done in a really good way. It kept you engaged in the match. They didn't try to do all these things that maybe they just can't do. Like, I don't know if that's what some of these other women are trying to do in their matches, but man, they did everything they could and more. It was great. I loved it. Moves off the top rope. I mean, it was...
Do you know
it was great.
Rhea Ripley is one of the Grand Slam winners, that she's held every women's title that the WWE has?
I didn't know that. Well, you know what? I think I read something about it, like NXT.
She had the NXT title. She had the NXT American version of it. She won
UK version.
She had the but then she won the tag team. She won SmackDown. She won Raw. She's held every title, man.
She's
good for her.
Good for her. Good for her. Young. Yeah. She's got a bit long career ahead of her.
Should. Very and very homegrown, and from the beginning of her WWE career, she's had different styles. She was this looking woman, and then she changed a little bit, and then did that, change a little bit, did this, come back, change a little bit, and where she's at right now, and maybe this is where she wants to be. But she was really good at a heel. Yeah, she's a great heel with her. Yeah, she's really great. They got her right now. Let's move on to the next one. We can almost skip over it. It was an impromptu match: Pat McAfee versus The Miz. Yeah, whatever.
George Kittle. Yeah. Remember, he was in the crowd again. I don't know if this is just filler. What's going on? It was 3.5 minutes. Waste of my time. Yeah. Waste of everybody's time.
I was having a beer, man, so I didn't see most of it. I heard, but
I don't remember watching it when we were there. So I watched it, when I watched the replay. But what's The Miz doing, dude? He just jobbing everybody now, I guess. I don't know, to Pat McAfee.
I think because he always said Hollywood and he's a big star and blah, blah, blah. I think they gave him the host type of deal, which was fine. Mm-hmm. And you had a quick match, whatever. You're in there, you're in, you're out. Yeah, you lose. You know, it was definitely was. They're getting ready for the main event, and that's what kind of was. Oh, hey, make sure you guys pee.
Let's let everybody go get their beer, get your hot dog, go to the bathroom. We want everybody in their seats for the main event. You might be right. Let's go ahead and go to the final match, the headlining match of the night. The Usos, Jay and Jimmy, the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
This I want to start.
You talk about it. Go ahead.
This storyline has also built up for a very, very, very long time, and it's worked for me.
Oh yeah,
they had it where the Usos and all this, and the Bloodline. Then all of a sudden, Sami joins in, and you're like, Sami Zayn, what the hell? What is this Canadian dude, Muslim, jumping in and talking about being on the Bloodline, and I want to be with Roman and this kind of shit like that. And they built a story. They built a loan. The funniest thing that had me going, Chris, I don't know if it was when they started to do Usi, you know, the joke. Hey, he's not feeling a little Usi, and you're like, what? What the hell is that? They even printed a shirt, cracking up. TVs were blowing up. I mean, everybody who liked wrestling was, hey man, you Usi, and you just got the joke and shit like that, and then built up and built up. And then when they did the turn, oh, it's Sammy's fault. Oh, it's this. We're turning on him. We're doing this. Now he has a hatred towards the Bloodline. Now he wants to break up the Bloodline. Dude, 6 months ago, that was a different Sammy, you know, and then all of a sudden you get this guy. It built up very much, very good. They kept it well with the Bloodline, and dude, and then when they added Kevin Owens at the same, and you know, the Kevin Owens thing was, naturally they're gonna team up together, but they kind of took a second too. Like, hey, no, man, we're friends. Yeah, we battled. Yeah, we came up from the ranks. We came up together. But you turned your back on me. You changed. You did this, and then at the end, they said, you know, that magic moment. You know, tag, we're together again, and the crowd went wild, and the bromance started up again, and. You know, then that was like maybe 2 or 3 weeks before WrestleMania, and all the excitement and all that bullshit.
And even with Kevin Owens, even before Sammy joined the Bloodline, he had been like, I'm not saying feuding, but they're, you know, touching into the Bloodline as far as like wrestling against them or whatever. Yeah. You know, Owens for a while. They've been the Bloodlines, you know, been going on 2-3 years now. You know, Owens is going to be tagging with Sony. He's going to wrestle the Usos. Then, you know, eventually he wrestled Reigns for the title. So it wasn't like Owens was just thrown in there. There were reasons that he wanted to get involved against the Bloodline as well. So it was almost like a perfect storm of everyone involved in this match. It just came together and was just it was magic in the ring. It was
I want to say, I think it was at when they did the cage matches. I want to say War
Games.
War Games. Sorry, excuse me. When they did War Games, they went back to it where the Bloodline was all in red or white, and then Kevin Owens did the final. I mean, Sammy did the final blow to Kevin.
Yep.
So it looked like, I'm not with you anymore. I'm not this. Like, it was, I am not your friend. Here, bam. And then that's why when the start of Kevin Owens and him, he was like, well, you did this to me, and you did. Dude, it worked very well. Like I said, that story that built up throughout all the months was very well for me. So when this match came up, Chris, is exciting. It was good, and the electricity in the air was for Sammy and Kevin. It was, man. I was total for it and excited.
I think that this edges out the Rhea Ripley Charlotte Flair for the best match of the night, in my opinion.
Wow. Okay, man.
You got four, you know, pinnacle athletes, tag team champions, Usos. You're going to convince me now. Yes, they are probably one of the great top 5 WWE tag teams of all time. They've had the title for what it was like 200 or 600 something days or something crazy. Dude.
No, Roman's at 600.
I would have to go back and look at the number, but it was crazy, dude. How long they've had these titles. Yeah. But man, they're one of the greats. The storyline all came together. Dude, near fall, super kick party. It was crazy how much stuff was going on in there. Hitting finishers, stunners.
Yeah.
What's it called? The what a kick or whatever. What's the
Hoover kick? I think.
Yeah. Whatever. Sammy's
I think it's
finisher.
Kick, yeah.
Oh, Hell of a Kick. I think it's
Okay.
called something like that. You know, and the Usos super kicking everybody. It was a great match. It did not feel like 24 minutes long. It felt a lot quicker than that because you were just on the edge of your seat, invested, watching the whole time. Kevin Owens and Sammy came out on top. It was great. I loved it. Everyone went home happy. See you tomorrow night.
See you tomorrow night.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was definitely that, Chris.
If I was going to say my top 3 matches of the night, number 1 was that match. Number 2 was Ripley, Charlotte, and then number 3 was Rollins and Logan Paul.
There you go. I'm not going
to
to disagree with you on that, man. That was definitely probably 1, 2, 3 of the night.
Yeah.
And like Chris said, the energy in the stadium, the energy from the people around us, the energy from the people we saw all around, leaving and coming in, was so electric. There was something about WrestleMania, and then when it ended, you know, we were like, we're doing it all again, 24 hours, man.
Yeah.
It's, or 12 hours, whatever. We're doing it again tomorrow. And, you know, we ended all, like you said, happy-go-lucky guys leaving. And, you know, we started up on the next day.
Night 2.
All right.
April 2nd. Let's see. The attendance for night 1 was 80,497. For night 2 was 81,395. So they got another.
They jam-packed another 1,000 or
they got another
1,500 in there?
Another 1,100 people. Shoehorned them in somewhere.
Yeah.
So for the 2 nights, 161,892.
That was awesome, man.
Ridiculous. Night 2 was fun. Some matches I was looking forward to, some I wasn't. But you know, we got there, you know, a little bit earlier. You know, we went around to the other side and took the VIP entrance, which came right to our seats.
Yeah, that was good.
We were there early enough. We kind of said, let's go look around a little bit. Let's go walk around. Bathrooms are here. We're like, you know, this one's got a long line. This one's kind of hidden around the corner. This is the one I'm going to go to when I need to go to the bathroom.
Or we wanted to see different food options, different
We found a
drink
place that
options.
was selling micheladas, so we had micheladas. So we were happy with that. They were pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
Because they poured the beer. Didn't you get the beer, the rest of the beer in the can?
Yeah, they had a little bit in the
so you
the
still had a
can,
little bit
so
left over, so that was great.
You know us.
And
Drank it.
you know, went to look at merch. Still unhappy with the shirts. I was like, forget it. I'm done. So let's go ahead and get into the first match here.
Sounds good.
Brock Lesnar versus Omos.
I wasn't surprised that this started off, and I knew it would have been a quick match to start it off with.
I mean, not so much for Brock Lesnar, but almost. I don't think he's putting in 10, 15-minute matches.
Definitely not.
And this match couldn't have ended any other way than the way it did. Almost is not going to beat Brock Lesnar. I wonder how Brock Lesnar, I know that they kind of played the storyline on Raw that like he was unhappy coming out first. But I wonder if he really was like, why am I going out first? Because I thought that was kind of the way. Either you want to be in the first match or the last match.
Okay.
Like, you know, I've heard some wrestlers, like I was hearing this interview from Jericho, and one of the things that he was upset about when he left WWE is the last WrestleMania he wrestled at, they put him in the second match. And he wanted to be in the first one. He thought he should have been in the headlining match. I can't remember who he was wrestling, but they put him in the second match, and he's like, this is the worst spot. Yeah, Brock Lesnar took punishment, gave him 3 German suplexes, and then F5'd him. That almost is a big... Dude, he made Brock Lesnar look like Rey Mysterio in size, dude. He is huge.
That's a good comparison to that,
dude. And then he comes out with MVP, who I'm not a fan of at all. Never have been.
Yeah.
MVP's trash.
Trash.
5-minute match. Lesnar wins by pinfall. That match was what it was. It wasn't that great.
Yeah.
Number two. Match number 2. I wasn't a big fan of this one either. This was the WrestleMania Women's Showcase Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. Ronda Rousey versus Shayna Baszler against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Another team of Natalya and Shotzi. And then Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville.
All right.
So those were your 4 teams.
4 teams.
There wasn't. I don't even know if this might have been like an early pee break or something, because I was like, I get it. I mean, this is probably some kind of record for the most women they've had wrestling in a WrestleMania. You've got 8 in this one. You have the title women's match later. And then you had, women wrestling in the other one.
And then the Fatal 4-Way again on that.
So that was good, but I watched this match again. Nothing was impressing me about it. I think
there wasn't a lot. You know how like we talk about when they throw two people as tag team together. That's what this felt like. You just throw. The only one was Ronda and Shayna. Like they've been friends or they've for a while. So that was the only one that's I thought gelled really good. But everybody else they just kind of threw together. There wasn't any magic tag team, that they've been tagging for a while. Nothing like that. So I agree on that point.
Let me ask you a question, and because I kind of go back and forth on this. So Ronda Rousey, we'll just talk about her for a second. By the way, Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler won the match. Ronda Rousey, I see her like as a heel, like she was at WrestleMania, and I'm like, she doesn't make a good heel. And then I see her as a face, and I'm like, she doesn't make a good face. It's almost like,
what do you do?
I don't like her either way. So what do we do with her? Like, what do we do with? I just am not sold by her being able to, because like I said this before, whenever she comes out to the match, she just can't help but smile. Right? I mean, she can't help but smile. I don't know.
It's just a force of habit. I
guess.
Yes. Chris, I agree with you on that about the girls. Like I said, it's just something that the match was. How long was the match?
8.5.
Yeah, it was. It could have ended a minute earlier. We wouldn't have really cared.
No. I might have had to run back to my seat from the bathroom. Because the next match was one of the top matches of the night.
Ooh, yeah.
Triple threat match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Gunther against Sheamus against Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, that was a fight, man.
I'm not gonna lie. This was a brawl. I was looking forward to this match.
Definitely. Gunther's been a great IC champ.
Yeah.
On defending it and just really good. His whole gimmick with Imperium, which they've had from the UK and NXT, and they did really, really well on still showcasing these guys, keeping them all military type like, being straight and narrow in a sense, but fighting and doing very well. So Gunther, who also slimmed up or trimmed down or however you want to say it, he looks fantastic and he wrestles fantastic. And he wrestled Sheamus and, Drew McIntyre, which these guys are not young, high flyers. These guys are beefy boys.
They're grizzled veterans.
That, just come out and kick some ass and did a long match. And there's a lot of chops and a lot of this and a lot of that. So I was looking forward to this match too, and it didn't disappoint. And, I would have liked to see Drew win it. But, they live on for another day, and, they're having this Gunther storyline go farther. So, you never know what's going to happen with him. Maybe him and Roman one day will look at each other and go, I'm ready to put my title up. How about you?
There you go. A little Hogan Ultimate Warrior title for title match.
There you
Let's go.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's ready for that, but I could definitely see his career path headed in that direction.
Correct.
And I don't think, I guess Sheamus is still in that picture as well, and McIntyre. All three of those guys got a bright future ahead of them, regardless of how long they've been in the business. But that match was great. It was a brawl. There were great back and forth, a lot of near falls. I liked the finish. All three men were involved in it, and man, it was great. A great 16 minutes, 40 seconds.
Worth every minute, man.
Action-packed the whole time. Yeah. It could have gone on another minute, and I wouldn't have cared. In a good way.
There could have been more.
They could have taken the minute from the earlier match and put it on this one.
There could have been more chops, and we would have loved it.
All right, let's go to the next match. Match 4. The singles match for the WWE Raw Women's Championship. Champion Bianca Belair versus Asuka.
Loved it.
Yeah. This match was
good.
It was pretty good. Not as good as the one from the night before.
Correct.
But it's still, this is, Charlotte and Rhea. And then right below that, you got, I actually really like Bianca Belair. I think she's really good. Asuka.
Yeah.
Right around in that same area. But yeah, these girls put on a show. Their entrances were great. Bianca coming out with all the kids and stuff like that was really cool.
That was fun.
Asuka, with all the people with their masks on and stuff like that was really neat. And the match was good. It didn't disappoint. I didn't expect it to be on the level of Rhea and Charlotte. It wasn't. It was a little bit under that but not much. And it was good. It kept me entertained. I didn't like look away, yawn, or hope for it to be over. I was satisfied all the way through the whole match.
Asuka's been one of those wrestlers that's been inventing herself and wrestles excellent. Mm-hmm. She has that Japanese, Chinese background that just came over to America and
like that strong style,
strong style wrestling ability, and she's definitely kicked ass and took a lot of names on her career in WWE for all this kind of stuff. Man, it was really good. I love her.
And Bianca did retain.
Yeah, she did retain. She's definitely new, but she definitely does have power, and she does have style and ability, which I definitely love too, man. So there's just nothing wrong about that. This match was good, but it wasn't Rhea and Charlotte good. That was top of the mountain.
I think
very close to the mountain.
I think that the Rhea Charlotte match has set the bar.
Yeah.
This is the new standard for women's wrestling.
Yeah.
Beat this. And I don't know if anybody else but Rhea and Charlotte can beat that.
Yeah.
At least it's on the roster right now. I don't know who they're going to put together.
They came really close to do that. But yeah, it was definitely definitely good. Definitely. I'm not going to say anything bad about them. Good matches, their ability, their style, what they came through. And then they ended the match. Hey, here we go. That's it.
So let's talk about this next one. It was Snoop Dogg versus The Miz, but it wasn't supposed to be Snoop Dogg versus The Miz. So The Miz is out there talking, and Snoop's talking a little smack, saying, "Oh, you weren't ready for your match against McAfee, blah, blah, blah. I got someone else for you to wrestle." And here comes the money. Shane McMahon comes out doing his dancing on the thing. Takes 20 minutes to walk down to the ring, whatever. Then
He's too old, man.
Then they start going at it a little bit.
Yeah.
And Shane, whips him into the ropes, does a leapfrog over The Miz, I believe it was, and snap, ripped his quad muscle like 5 seconds into them trying to wrestle each other. I got to give it up to Snoop Dogg, dude. I don't know. You got to think that he doesn't have an earpiece in his ear and they're not talking to him. He just said, shit, something's got to happen. He just crawled into the ring and decked The Miz.
He was already in the ring, but
he came in. I watched it today. He was outside because they were supposed to wrestle, and then he came in.
Oh, and then he came in.
And then he started talking smack to The Miz, and then they started wrestling, and he beat. So it was, the Snoop is not, I just call him the Snoop. The Snoop is not an athlete by any measure.
No.
And his
not
wrestling,
compared to these big hunky dudes and shit like that.
It was 2 minutes and 20 seconds of nonsense.
Yeah. Useless, and Shane useless again for fucking WrestleMania. Stop bringing fucking Shane out for WrestleMania, man. I'm done with him at WrestleMania.
It's a crying Shane.
It's a crying Shane.
Yeah, I agree with you, dude. Just can we stop? Can we stop? It's time for the Gunthers, and the Rhea Ripleys to be the ones that are pushed, and let's stop bringing out. You know what else I was surprised? Let's talk about this for a second. Interlude. No Rock, no Hogan, no Stone Cold, no Ric Flair, nobody, no old school wrestlers came out the whole weekend to the ring. Little surprised? Yes. Disappointed? Not necessarily. Let the current stars shine. But I was actually kind of surprised that they did not have anybody come out. What do you think about that? Because usually, even the last year's, the one I think was in Dallas, with Owens and
you had
Stone Cold.
Stone Cold.
They didn't do anything. Nobody came out even to open the show. They had Kevin Hart do that stupid cold opening both nights. It was just garbage, hot garbage. But they didn't bring anybody out. I was a little bit surprised by it.
I agree with you on that, because there was always talk. There was always temptation of The Rock coming to L.A. At this WrestleMania, and it was Roman versus The Rock. It was cousin versus cousin. There was like, oh my God, there's going to be a Samoan fight. And that's what the main event was. And, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. Whatever. To me, maybe The Rock is done with wrestling. Maybe he just doesn't. I mean, the reason why they said that he didn't do it was he wasn't wrestler shape ready. This guy's a fucking beast. Yeah, he works out. He looks good all the fucking time. Is he just a soft Hollywood actor now?
Maybe.
Which is fine. Hey, you're still making money. You still want to sell your energy drink, and you want to do Moana, whatever. You're good at that.
I'll tell you what right now. Rock, if you're out there listening, Dwayne, pick any
Dwayne,
partner
Dwayne.
you want from back in the locker room. Big Talk, Chris and Greg will take you on any day of the week. You name the place, you name the time, we're going to be there. Come out in my bathrobe.
Challenge. I can't believe you threw that.
I'm gonna have the interns freaking bedazzle my bathrobe. I'll wear it to the ring. I got some skibs.
Are you gonna come out on a forklift, dude, or what, man?
Maybe, dude. Maybe.
Two forklifts are gonna
Beep, beep, beep. That's the way to do it. Let's talk about the last match, the headlining match. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, I skipped over. How did I skip this one? Jesus.
Yeah, I'm gonna slap you on this one, man.
Hell in a Cell. Hell in a Cell. Edge versus the Demon Finn Balor.
So good.
This was a great match. I was looking forward to this one. Night one, the Hell
the
Cell was hanging
over
above the ring. I was like, oh my god, I can't wait for tomorrow. This match is gonna be great. Start off with the entrances. I liked Edge. He came up wearing this whole new outfit with like a glass mask and wings and shit. Finn Balor came out. Everything was great until he busted out those smoke wands. I was like, what's going on? Is this cheesy? Put all that aside. Get them two in the middle. Judgment Day against Judgment Day. It was delivered on every level. That was great.
They did not disappoint. It was very well. And people have asked me now, if you don't know about this match, Finn Balor got injured pretty badly on his head. He got ripped open.
I think that gash he got, it's like an internet sensation now, dude. That thing was like 3 or 4 inches long on top of his head.
Yeah, from where we were, and I didn't really see a lot of blood because Finn also had makeup of dark,
the full body,
a lot of makeup. So if he was bleeding on his face, we didn't see it. We couldn't tell if there was. The only thing you could tell if you see on the mat. And then of course, whenever anybody bleeds, the referees always put gloves on. So once those put gloves on, somebody's bleeding. But they went on. He from the head hit to, I think he had also had something else that was torn or injured, and he finished the match. I mean, he did. They did excellent. They wrestled. They threw everything in there. They did weapons. They did this. They jumped, and I mean, there was just so much stuff for Hell in the Cell. Did not disappoint. Both good. And it was just one of those things, Chris, that after it ended, or after the match ended, and you heard all the stuff that Balor went through, it was like, Jesus Christ, man, he was a company guy and just gave it all. I mean, he just didn't, I'm injured, stop, I'm bleeding, stop. No, hey, I'm gonna finish this match. Pin me, don't pin me, let me get the pin.
And it didn't happen. This did not happen. This was like almost in like the middle of the match, so he had another 8-9 minutes to wrestle with this huge gash in his head, and he kept doing everything that he would have normally done. Did a couple of stomp off the top rope. Then he did that one from the edge of the cage, obviously through the table that he missed. Edge concerto and a spear. 1, 2, 3. Edge wins. God, he looks great, doesn't he? Edge is in amazing shape for an
either
old guy.
one of those guys winning. It told a good story. Now, the Judgment Day and Edge type of storyline has been going on for a while, but it was Edge who needed this win because I think Judgment Day was taking a little bit more wins when they had like a top of the tag match, or they had the one where Beth was involved. So this does kind of complete that story that they did tell. But I mean, there's also, hey, we're gonna start a new page. They let him start a new page.
I think that they both came out looking great in this match. Edge obviously with the win, but I think Finn Balor lost. But what he went through during the match, I think he comes out a little bit even stronger. Even though he got the loss, it's like, dude, this guy's a legit badass, which we already knew. But it made him look like he's got even more badassery. Loved it. Edge beat Finn Balor. That was a highlight of the night. Great match. Hell in a Cell.
Hell in a Cell.
All right, now we can go to the match I was going to talk about.
All right,
the headlining match. The singles match for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. Excuse me, Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman and Solo versus Cody Rhodes.
Right.
And, of course, we heard Cody Rhodes' theme at the beginning of the show. Man, I like both entrances here.
Sure.
I mean, obviously, Cody Rhodes is a sing-along theme. And then you got the Bloodline, Roman Reigns coming out, slow saunter, Heyman holding one of the titles up like it's a baby. God, dude, Paul Heyman touches everything, it turns to gold, dude.
Right. Right? He knows how to talk. He knows how to walk.
Great
he knows
wrestling mind.
He knows
yes.
how to be the executive,
He's probably like,
chairperson.
Roman, let's slow down walking to the ring. Let's take some
Right.
extra time.
Yeah.
Let's wait. Let's not come out right away. Let's stand up here a little longer. Let's slower walk. Like, let's take minutes.
Exactly.
I'm sure that he was just like, yeah, we'll do that. I love it. The entrances were great. Paul Heyman, a part of anything, is going to be amazing. This was a 34.5-minute match. I thought this was a really good match. Delivered on all points. Great story. Lots of near falls.
You know what I liked about it, Chris, was they didn't have it where Roman or Cody looked stronger than the other one. In the sense of Brock versus Roman, you see Brock and you're like, damn, he looks big and huge and blah, 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 blah. But with Cody and Roman, they looked great. They know how to wrestle. And if they wrestled 34, 35 minutes, it was fucking worth it. Where you have Brock, he does 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I like kind of stuff.
I liked how, Solo got sent to the back.
Yeah.
You get the Usos running in. You get Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn saving. You get a distraction. You get, illegal participation. It just had everything.
Yes.
You didn't know what was going to happen, which is what you want in your main event. I prefer a clean one where there's no interference, but you're never going to get that with the bloodline, win at all costs. I was totally happy, even though the end didn't happen like I wanted to. I wanted Cody to win. Not only did I want Cody to win, the fact that he didn't win, and now the direction they're taking him with Brock Lesnar, I'm so disappointed in. I'm like, this story is just starting with Roman and Cody. Can we keep this going?
Are they doing a long term or not?
I don't
like
know.
I said earlier about Sammy and Kevin in the bloodline, they really started that story 6-8 months ago.
Yeah.
6 months ago maybe, and they slowly started to do small little steps till you got to this. Maybe they're doing the same thing.
I hope so. I'd like to see that again.
Okay.
So night 2, what did you think were those top matches? I thought the Intercontinental match, that was my favorite match of the night.
Wow. Okay.
The 3-way for the Intercontinental. Then I'm gonna have to say that the last 2 were pretty even. The heavyweight title match and the Hell in a Cell, 2 totally different matches. Hard to compare them directly against each other. They were both exciting for their own reasons. And then I could put the women's title match right under those 2.
I would have said I definitely Cody and Roman's was my number 1.
Okay.
Hell in the Cell would have been 2, and Gunther would have been 3 because all those they were really really even in that sense of like bam 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 bam. And you're right, Asuka and Bianca, a bonus on that the 3 for that one. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, a lot of excitement, a lot of Cody winning. It was kind of like the drain when the Undertaker lost at at WrestleMania. It was like what. That's how.
Yeah, it was.
It deflated the stadium, but there was a lot of people that wanted Roman. There was a lot of people that wanted this, so you can really, really feel that, man. Really good stuff.
How do you overall the WrestleMania?
Oh.
I thought it was good. We could sit here and say, well, they shouldn't have had this, they shouldn't have had that. They probably could have cut out a couple of these, made it one night, made it just 4 hours. I probably would have been happy with that. Sometimes I think that there's just too much stuff in there for 2 nights. I'm not a fan of the 2 nights.
I'm over the 2 nights too. Like during the pandemic and during all that, okay, fine, because they were finding a way to do this. They don't really need. They could have done one good 4-hour show. Bam, you got it.
Yeah, I agree.
They didn't have to do all these matches.
Get rid of this McAfee crap, Snoop Dogg crap. Stop.
Yeah.
I'm tired of seeing this stuff. If you're gonna bring someone out for a surprise, have it be someone that's actually a wrestler.
Yeah, there you go.
Then we can do that. Yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say, dude. I was actually overall I was happy.
Yeah, definitely.
I definitely am glad we went together. Big Talk was in the house. The VIP treatment. Thank you to everybody at SoFi for everything you did for us. We had an amazing night.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what else to say.
Yeah,
Except for,
I do. I want a big thanks to my buddy Stephen Corinne for helping.
Yeah,
for being,
Stephen Corinne, thank
great
you for
co-host. and being there. They were just friends of mine that helped us out with everything that we were there. So we had very fun with them. So thanks a lot, guys.
Remember, at Big Talk CG.podcast on Instagram and on TikTok, BigTalkCG@gmail.com, at Big Talk CG on Twitter. We're on Facebook. If you go to our Instagram, in the bio, boom, link tree. You can hit it right there.
All right.
Go to our link tree. It tells you everywhere you can see us. Tells you anything you want to know about us, all our social media, all in one place. Check it out. It's all killer. I love it. Go ahead, Greg. What do you got to say?
All right, man. Chris, bring us out, man. Give me some music.
Here we go.
This is my brutality!
All right, we're going to end on the Rhea Ripley theme song, and I just wanted to say Chris from Motionless in White was actually singing on this one for Rhea. I really loved it, and it really brings out a lot of showcase on everybody out there. All right, so from Greg from Big Talk Podcast with Chris and Greg, see ya.